Hey everybody, this is Emily Duplessis from Rental Rookie, and thank you so much for tuning in to another one of our videos that are focusing on the different ways that you can finance rental properties. Today's video is all about how to house hack your first rental with FHA. So this is really geared toward anyone who has never bought a rental property and maybe who's never even bought their own home. This strategy and the technique that I'm going to talk about today is specifically for people who are looking to buy a personal residence and also maybe thinking about dabbling into real estate investing when they're ready to exit this property that they're looking to buy. So I want to go ahead and start off with talking about what it means to house hack. Okay, you may hear this term if you start to kind of look around at websites and forums and read some books that are out there related to real estate investing. House hacking is all about when you buy a property, you buy it for your personal residence. You live in it for a length of time. Could be a year, could be 2, could be 3, could be 10, and then you move. But when you move, you don't sell the property. You actually keep the property as a rental instead of selling. This is a great technique for people who are just starting off and looking into buying their home, because it definitely is a strategy that not only allows you to potentially earn money in the future, but it also makes you make a more sound investment whenever you're buying your first property. And one of the reasons that I'm going to get a little on a sidebar here, but if you buy your property and you not only take into consideration, the price and the community and everything, and you're going to live there now, but if you also pay attention to what it could rent for later, down the road when you're looking to move, knowing what it could rent for and if that would be able to cover the cost of the property if you, had to rent it, it was really only making a much more sound investment for you. If you, know that you're going to move in 3, 5, 6 years, what happens if property values tank and you end up, and you're underwater on the property? You're either stuck living in the property, you're going to let it go into foreclosure or short sale, or you could try to rent it out if rents and get some of the rental income to cover, or at least cover most of your mortgage payment. And so it's definitely a solid way of going into buying a property if you think about this idea of house hacking. Now, why should you house hack? One, you're able to financially get into a home for much less cash out of pocket if you live there than if you buy it as a pure investment property. If you buy a property as a pure investment property and use financing, you're going to be stuck using conventional financing, which requires 20% down. So if you're looking at a $100,000 home, that's $20,000 that you have to have right off the bat, not counting closing costs and lender fees and things like that. But you need at least $20,000 to get into that house. If you are going to buy and plan to live in the property and house hack and turn it into a rental, you can get into it for much less down. Like I said, it's perfect if you're just starting out and you're looking to purchase a personal home. And really, if you're really serious about the house hacking path to, getting started with buying property, multi-units are great for this. If you go in and you buy a duplex, you can get into a duplex for much less cash out of pocket. While you're living in it, you can rent out the other side, which can then help pay for or cover your mortgage. And then when you do leave, then you're getting double the income. So multi-units are a great way to house hack. If I had to do it over again, even though we did house hack our first property and turn it into a rental when we moved, a multi-unit would have been definitely something that I would have considered to do when I first got started. All right, let's talk about why FHA. So if you're going to house hack and you're a first-time home buyer, and planning to use a much lower down payment, most likely you're going to be using FHA loan products. FHA stands for the Federal Housing Authority, and the terms for an FHA loan, you use this to buy personal residence. FHA cannot be used on investment properties. You can put as little as 3.5% down, which is, one of the qualities of FHA that often people, and why people kind of gravitate toward this type of loan product, is because you can get into a property for much less cash out of pocket. Now, on the other hand, while you're getting in for much less cash out of pocket up front, they do require that you pay a mortgage insurance premium, or an MIP. And basically what that is it's pretty much like private mortgage insurance, where essentially, because you're putting such a small amount of money down, 3.5%, 5%, the bank essentially is requiring you to pay this insurance on the fact that you're going to be able to kind of uphold your end of the bargain. So, when we look at FHA versus buying a straight out investment property with conventional financing, you have to put 20% down. When you do that, you don't have to pay any kind of mortgage insurance premium or private mortgage insurance because you're putting so much down. So there's a little bit of a difference there. It might be less cash up front, but you might end up paying a little bit more each month. And you can only have one FHA loan at a time in your name. So you can't go around and buy a ton of properties using the FHA loan product. So what I want to do is walk you through a little bit of a scenario of why house hacking can be such an advantage for you if you're just starting out. Let's look at an example. Julie plans to buy her first home with financing. She intends to use this home as a rental when she's ready to move on. So she seeks out a mortgage planner and begins the process with an FHA loan since she's planning to live in the property. So, Julie goes through the whole process of negotiations and offers. They ratify the purchase price of $150,000 for the duplex. She plans to live in one side and rent out the other to help offset the costs. So I want to take a look at the cost breakdown. If you take a look at the left-hand column, you'll see I've got tons of information there for you. The purchase price of the duplex was $150,000. Julie is only going to put 3.5% down, which looks at a cash value of $5,250. With an interest rate of 5%, when you do that calculation, the base loan amount, so this is going to be the purchase price less or subtracted the down payment, okay, minus the down payment, that's what your loan amount is going to be. And her base loan amount is $144,750. Now, what happens when you use an FHA loan? This premium, right? This mortgage insurance premium, there's kind of 2 times that you have to pay for it. You have to pay an upfront premium, okay, that you pay at closing that's kind of rolled into your loan amount, and then you are going to pay a monthly MIP, okay? So you pay a upfront premium, and then you're going to pay monthly. So the upfront premium for mortgage insurance is 1.75 with FHA. So what happens is they take 1.75% of that base loan amount, and whatever that number is, they add it to that base loan amount. So if you look at the left-hand column, you'll see where it says new base loan amount, $147,283.12. So that has the upfront premium for MIP rolled into it. So that is going to be Julie's base loan amount. Okay. Her insurance and her taxes total up to $125 a month. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you pay twice for the mortgage insurance premium. You pay the upfront premium, and then you're going to pay monthly. Now, the interesting thing about the MIP monthly is that it's constantly changing. Okay, that monthly MIP is going to be based off of your loan amount. So every time, every single month you make a mortgage payment, a little bit of your principal is reduced, right? You pay a lot of interest and a little bit of principal. And as that principal is reduced, that loan amount, your monthly MIP is going to change based off of that monthly loan amount. So your monthly MIP is constantly going to be changing. So if you look at Julie's case, she's going to start off paying a little over $98 a month, but that's going to slowly change throughout the course of the time that she owns the property. Now, her total monthly payment for everything is going to be $1,000. Now, if we kind of skip on over to the right side in the blue boxes, you see that Julie's monthly payment is $1,000. Her monthly rent from the other unit is $900. So Julie's total monthly payment out of her pocket is $100. So she's paying $100 a month to live in that property. Now, let's say in 3 years, 5 years, she decides to move on and keep it. She would have a gross monthly income of $1,800. So if the one unit she wasn't living in rented for $900 and her unit rented for $900, she would be bringing in $1,800 a month. She still has that mortgage payment and MIP and everything, taxes and insurance for $1,000. So you take the $1,800 minus the $1,000, that makes a net monthly income of $800. Now that could still be less if she's, depending on management fees and utilities and vacancy rates and those sorts of things. But just looking at this, that's kind of what her monthly income is going to be. And her net yearly income would be $9,600 based off of this $800. So you can see how then 3-5 years down the road, how this could be definitely a great way to bring in some passive income for Julie whenever she decides to move on, and a great way to start your rental portfolio. So FHA really is a great way to get started when it comes to buying property and getting started in investing if it's something that you want or maybe think about pursuing down the road. FHA is a great loan product for you. So I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you learned a little bit about FHA and house hacking and how you can maybe implement that into your own investing strategy. If you haven't joined the Rental Rookie community, please head over to rentalrookie.com. You can learn more about taking control of your financial future through investing in rental property. We've got tons of free resources, video tutorials, downloadable PDFs, infographics, analysis, property analyzers. Everything is there for you for free. All you have to do is head on over to rentalrookie.com. Create your account and everything is there for you for free. So until next time, happy investing.